Hello everyone, my name is Umi Nur Ajizah, and here I will explain the legal system in Ukraine. Ukraine is the second largest country in Europe, located in Eastern Europe, bordering Russia to the east, Belarus to the north, and countries such as Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, and Moldova to the west and southwest. The country has a long history and rich culture, with its capital Kiev located on the banks of the Dnieper River. Ukraine is known as the breadbasket of Europe due to its fertile soil, particularly the Cernozem or black soil. Ukraine's legal system basically follows the civil law tradition, similar to what most European countries use. In simple terms, this means that the law is mostly found in written rules, statutes, court regulations, rather than in court decision. So when a legal issue comes up, people usually go straight to the written laws instead of searching for past cases. Everything is ultimately guided by the Ukrainian constitution, which sits at the top of the legal hierarchy and acts as the reference point when different rules conflict. For everyday matters like contracts, property, family issues, inheritance, and business relations, Ukraine relies on the Civil Code, which was adopted in 2003. This code is relatively modern and was designed to move the country away from the old Soviet legal model. It emphasizes things like freedom of contract, protection of property rights, and the equality of parties, principles that were not always central under the Soviet system. Judges can look at previous decisions to clarify certain points, but those decisions don't carry the binding power they have in common law system. On the criminal side, Ukraine has both the Criminal Code and Criminal Procedural Code. The Criminal Code defines what counts as a crime and what punishments apply, while the Procedural Code outlines how investigations and trials should take place. Officially, Ukraine has been moving toward a more adversarial system, one where prosecutors and defense lawyers stand on more equal footing in front of a judge. But traces of the older, more inquisitorial Soviet approach are still present, especially in the investigation stage. The result is a kind of hybrid, not fully adversarial, not fully inquisitorial, but a mix of both. Institutionally, prosecutors in Ukraine tend to have a stronger role than in many Western systems. The Prosecutor General's office works closely with the police and investigative bodies to handle criminal cases. Court proceedings move through a three-level structure: trial court, appellate court, and the Supreme Court. There's also the Constitutional Court, which deals with issues involving the Constitution, as well as several specialist courts, one of the most notable being the High Anti-Corruption Court, created as part of major reforms aimed at reducing corruption. Overall, Ukraine's legal system, in a period of constant transformation, the country inherited a complex legal framework from the Soviet era, and it has been gradually reshaping and to align more closely with European standards. Laws are revised often, judicial institutions get reorganized, and procedures change regularly. The full-scale Russian invasion in 2022 accelerate many of these reforms, especially in areas related to war crimes, cooperation with international courts, and the handling of evidence from conflict zones. This makes the system dynamic, though sometimes unpredictable, since lawyers and judges must continually adjust to new rules. So, when someone asks whether Ukraine uses civil law or criminal law, the answer is both. Just like any modern country, what makes Ukraine distinctive isn't the presence of these two branches, but the way they function within a civil law tradition that leans heavily on detailed written codes rather than judicial precedents. In that sense, modern Ukrainian law is a blend of European civil law ideals, remnants of its Soviet past, and ongoing efforts to build a more transparent and independent legal system. Okay, that was an explanation of the legal system in Ukraine, and see you!